Hi, this is Captain Paul with Fish Finder Guide Service. Today we are going to start south of the JFK Causeway. We're going to be looking once again in this little, what I call the triangle. Kind of going through there, making drifts with popping corks and shrimp, looking for oversized redfish, and some black drum have showed up in that area now. So you ought to be able to find some drum right through there. You will pick up an occasional trout, although the trout fishing in this particular area has slowed down some. Moving south from there over into this area here, which we call the Tropic Flats. You're going to start in about the 2 and 3 foot water back in here. When you first start seeing sand pockets, you're going to be making drifts with popping corks and shrimp up to Humble Channel and then coming back around and making those drifts again. You're going to be looking for redfish, speckled trout, and an occasional black drum right in there. Black drums are not as many in this area. They were maybe 6 weeks ago, but those drums have moved more towards the JFK Causeway and into the triangle area. Next, you're going to be looking in this pocket right here behind Pita Island. If you can still get some croakers or piggies, there's a lot of sand holes back there. You might try for some better sized speckled trout in there, as well as a few keepers. Okay, now we're going to be moving to the south side of Pita Island in this big area here. It is a huge area. Going to be looking for redfish in this flat. I particularly like drifting through here with gold spoons, depending on which way the wind's blowing, whether it's blowing from the south and or if it's blowing back from the north or northwest or possibly northeast. I like drifting through that, rolling those spoons and looking for redfish. You will pick up some keeper trout on those gold spoons through there. I haven't really tried using corks and shrimp or anything else in there because of the perch. There are some sand holes that are just right off the intercoastal here and right off the intercoastal here that you could set up and use croakers and catch redfish. Catch redfish and speckled trout right there in those sand holes. But mainly it's just been long drifts. The drifts probably take 30-40 minutes for one drift, just rolling spoons. You might catch 1 or 2 reds adrift. It's not a fast thing, but there are some reds through there to be caught on spoons. If you move over here into the natural gut, anywhere in the natural gut, out a little deeper, I'd probably start in 3.3 foot to 4 foot of water in this area here, throwing croakers to catch your trout. Not a lot of bigger trout, but a lot of keeper 15-16 inch trout in that area right now. That area seems to have some bull reds very early and very late. So if you're fishing that drop, you might end up hooking into a couple of bull reds right through there. It's been kind of nice. All right, next we're going to be moving just south of Pure Oil Channel in this little pocket here behind all these islands and out more towards the little oil field channel that runs from the intercoastal back to Pure Oil Channel. It's like on a 45 there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but in this little area here, you're going to be throwing corks and shrimp, making drifts, and looking for redfish and speckled trout. There's been some nicer trout a little closer to the intercoastal, and the reds seem like they're in the dead middle out there where the big sand pocket is. You might be able to try using some croakers through there. I didn't have as much luck on croakers as I did on shrimps and cork in that particular area right there, but it's a little bit of a deeper flat. And then out here in front of this island, this side of Puro, it's a little shallower flat. So through there, I've been throwing croakers to avoid the perch, and then out here on the drop also croakers, and we're looking for trout and some oversized reds in that area right there. If you come over and go in this little gap right here, there's a mix of trout, reds, and black drum in that gap. You can probably catch quite a few oversized reds as they seem to be coming down the east shoreline of Nighthawk and turning the corner into the intercoastal. Also, look around the intercoastal. Don't be afraid to fish any of these flats closer to the intercoastal looking for reds as they are making their move, the bull reds. All right, next we're going to come all the way west, basically straight out from Bird Island Basin. And we're going to be looking on this drop right in here, staying out kind of deep. You're going to be probably in about 4 foot of water, throwing up into 3 foot of water. There's some sand holes that are mixed with grass all in here. What I've been doing in there is throwing croakers and piggies and catching a lot better sized trout. Not as many. There's a lot of little ones too, but there's some really nice, over 25-inch trout in that area. That's probably your best shot for a trophy trout right now, right through that little zone right there. Tighter to the shoreline with the higher tide, you can probably find your little schools of reds running in all these pockets. I would either be throwing lures or maybe throwing some cut bait if you're going to set up, but just look for those reds pushing down these banks. You may find a few more in this area here, but the main ones have been around these bigger coves just south of Bird Island, or straight in from Bird Island and south. Quite a few good little packs of reds running through there. Anyway, you guys be safe and courteous to each other, and good luck.